how much individuals can impact how we feel about ourselves and our relationship with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So if you are, as a child, were constantly hit to read the Quran, or maybe you had a teacher who spiritually abused you in some way, and Dr. Rania is the expert on this, may Allah bless her. When you have a relationship with Islam that started with parents who used hellfire to threaten you to get you to go to bed on time, like when Islam has been used in these ways, which is not from the revelation, it's not from the sunnah, to teach Islam in these very literally painful ways, a lot of times as an adult, you can have an aversion, may Allah protect us, to prayer, to dua, to Quran. And I've encountered so many people who ask me this, like how do they process wanting a relationship when the beginning of the relationship started with a very painful experience? And the first thing to recognize is the fact that you want a relationship speaks to how strong your love is for Allah. Second thing is realize that sometimes we project the way that we feel about ourselves onto Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So if I don't like myself, if I loathe myself, if I can't get over a sin I committed 5, 6, 7 years ago, months ago, weeks ago, and I'm constantly making tawbah and I can't even imagine Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala forgiving me, and so I assume that because I hate myself so much, that's how Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala sees me. So then I've met people who say that they feel embarrassed to pray because they don't think Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala would want them to pray because they're not righteous enough for prayer. For every type of worship, someone has said this, whether it's salah or hijab or walking into a masjid space. Versus Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala keeps telling us that anytime we go back to Him, we are sincere in our repentance, He accepts and He forgives. And that we do good deeds to wipe out the bad. So realistically look at yourself and think about, where does this feeling stem from? Some of us are really just caught up in life. That's very human. But for others, there's some reason why. Examine what that is for you and work on healing yourself from a spiritual place with the help of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So what that looks like is for example, working with a Muslim therapist if you've actually gone through trauma. The second thing is creating new experiences with worship. You don't let someone who, when you were 13, get to say whether or not you're going to pray when you're 27. Don't give them that power. You have the power by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala's will to choose to pray today. Don't give anyone that level of importance in your head. You choose, it's going to be your relationship with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and you build new experiences with that relationship. So let's say when you used to read Quran, it was in a very, in a very particular room. Choose to read Quran on the beach. Read Quran at a cafe. Read Quran taking a hike. Re-establish new experiences with the Quran so that your brain makes new neuronic experiences with that worship. And make sure you have very consistent worship. Obviously, we have salah and we have the fara'id. But beyond that, number one, read the Quran every single day. I didn't know Arabic. I read it in English. The Quran changed my life. Changed my life in English until I learned Arabic. So every single day, take a certain amount in whatever language you can understand. If you can read Arabic too, do it. Even if you're super slow, do it every day. 1 verse, 5 verses, 1 page, consistently. And for a Quran translation, I recommend Mustafa Khattab. Work with mentors. Find sisters, mentors, shaykhat that you can study with. Because a lot of times you're going to go to a random Islamic website to ask about a woman's question. And you're going to walk away from there going, how do I process that answer? Instead, seek mentorship with real people. You don't have to go through this journey alone. And that anytime you doubt yourself, remember, if you doubt yourself and you wonder where are you with Allah, it's because you care about Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala.